Well, there we have it, guys. What an exciting game of rugby. Didn't think I was going to be saying that at half-time. 19 points to 7. England managing to claim this one back at the end. What started out as such another weekend of just sort of boring, slow rugby. Penalties was all it was going to be. That second half, man, what an absolute explosion onto this one. So, of course, we're going to have a little review. So the game's just finished for me. We'll go over my full-time thoughts on this one. And there's an awful lot of thoughts to go through. If you enjoy this style of video, make sure to drop it a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy your rugby content on YouTube and want to support the smaller content creators on YouTube. Enjoy talking a little bit about rugby. Now this one, England managing to steal this one at the end. Who would be an England supporter? My God, I mean, the roller coaster of emotions you go through for this one. England going into this one was a game they had to win. They're looking in a little bit of dodgy shape last week, losing that game 20 points to 9. This one was built up. This had to be a game they had to win. The England A team going in against a sort of, I don't know, a 1.5 team of Wales. I've seen a lot of people saying this is just a straight B team Wales. I'm not sure it's a complete B team Wales. Somewhere between first and second choice maybe. England playing at home, they expected to have a massive game. Now the first half actually looked like it was going to be going the way of England. They actually dominated an awful lot of this one. Ellis Genge and Josh Adams both getting their 50 caps as well in this game. Nice to see. But England controlling that opening 10 minutes, and you have to say an awful lot of that first half. England really controlling the pace of the game. I thought Farrell was actually playing really well in that first half in that number 10 shirt. They shifted up the way they were playing from last week. Far less box kicks, far faster game. Actually using their backs, trying to make room around the side. Farrell doing little kicks through. They obviously saw that Wales were going to go for this blitz defence technique and try and really rush up on them. And the best way to deal with that blitz defence is just to kick behind them and put them into all sorts of pressure. And Wales really seemed to struggle to adapt to that kicking game. And it really, came across in that opening 10 minutes. They were winning the territory and the possession. They were finding gaps. And in that opening 10 minutes, it was really apparent. England winning the possession and the territory. I mean, by the 15th minute, England were 70% possession for this one. And it looked like they were controlling the game, just all over the park. All the points on the board in that first half going through the boots of Farrell, getting his 2 penalties. And you have to say the set piece for England looking much, much better today for this one. Wales have got a lot of concerns throughout the entirety of this game. Now, Dewi Lake did go off with his injury in the 27th minute. It looked like an injury to his knee. We had concern for Wales now losing yet another hooker after Ryan Elias going off last week. It did look like the scrummaging picked up a little bit towards the end of that first half, but man, the second half, the set piece just all the way England, lineouts and scrummaging and mauls. They're all areas of concern for Wales, unfortunately, going on towards the World Cup. England going in at halftime 6-0 through the boots of Farrell, but the issue's still kind of remaining for England from what we saw last week. So many handling errors going wrong for them, ruining their own attack, players slightly out of position, not being able to finish off those big point scoring opportunities and taking a bit more of a test match vibe to this one. Win at all costs and just take those 3 points when they come along. Absolutely essential, of course, by the end result. Yeah, you absolutely needed to be taking those 3 points. The Harry Arundel yellow card was sort of a signifier of what England were doing wrong in this game. Just discipline, silly mistakes, completely unnecessary decisions that are just ruining your own game. Liam Williams calling the mark and taking the quick tap and go. He's an experienced player. He'll try and make as much room as he can. Arundel just needs to put his hands up and leave that one go. Hope someone else has got that covered. Really silly decision getting himself a yellow card. But Wales not exploiting that man advantage, not getting any points on the board and not actually scoring any points throughout the duration of England down by that one extra man through that yellow card. And that is, again, a bit of a theme we might see moving towards that second half. The set piece for Wales still not looking brilliant in that second half, not helped out by Tommy Reffell getting his yellow card. Just numerous penalties on the defence. Wales were actually warned at the end of that first half, you can't keep giving away penalties. Next one will be a yellow card. England actually took 3 points at the end of that first half. I really thought they actually might have tried and made the most of it and go for another try, maybe kick it to the corner, go for a driving maul try, because every single driving maul England did today, Wales really didn't know how to cope with it. I thought they maybe could have earned a yellow card and maybe a try at the end of that first half. Tommy Reffell getting his yellow card, though, putting Wales down to 7 men in the scrum, and yet managing to win one of their only 2 scrum penalties of the game while down to 7 men on an England put-in. Don't really know how that shifts up in the world of forwards. Discipline was certainly the story of the second half. There were so many issues for both sides. Handling errors again for both sides, just consistently going. They did say in the commentary side that there was a bit of rain just before the game kicked off, so the ball definitely slippery. Did come across that both teams are really struggling to hold on the ball with this one, but the yellow card situations going across for both teams, they'll probably be really unhappy with, especially the England coaching staff will be really unhappy with some of these decisions. So Arundel in that first half, of course, I had to agree. I thought that was a yellow card, completely cynical play. Ellis Genge, Raffel and Beard in this one all getting their yellow cards just for being the one at the end of too many penalties in the row. Freddie Stewart getting his yellow card in the 59th minute. Wales right up on that England defensive 5-metre line, trying to go for those pick and goes, can't get it over the line. Wales decide to switch it up. They go for a crossfield kick out to Josh Adams, who got tackled in the air by Freddie Stewart. This one for me, I think Freddie Stewart's tracking back with the ball. He obviously knows he's not going to be able to get to the ball. He's really hoping he's going to be able to stop this tackle. Josh Adams jumping in the air to catch the ball, hasn't really got a lot of other options. Decided to tackle the ankles, not the right way to go. Definitely, even as a Wales supporter, I think maybe Josh Adams milked the landing a bit more and made it look worse, but that's unfortunately professional rugby. It was an illegal hit, and for me, I really don't know how Freddie Stewart holds him up from that close to the try line while he's sort of running away from him. I think that was a try all day long if he didn't make that tackle, so penalty try awarded for that along with the yellow card, I think was the right decision. Owen Farrell, though, this will be a big talking point around this game. Yet another shoulder charge to the head of a player. It's kind of a Farrell classic now, that style of tackle where you lead with the shoulder and you sort of, I don't know, wrap kind of your arms if it's going around. We've seen that hit on a number of other occasions where he hasn't been carded before. He's gone off to his tackle school. He obviously hasn't learned what his issue is, and how many games will he miss? Now, of course, Xander Ferguson, I believe, has got 3 weeks or 3 games missed due to his red card at that breakdown. But Owen Farrell's got form in the past as well as attending that tackle school. You have to believe if you keep doing the same thing, that might mean a couple of really big games could be being missed out in this World Cup for Owen Farrell. Now, that red card actually got applied through the bunker rule, which I'm so glad to be seeing is really getting implemented into the world of international rugby. I think it works really well. It did mean that for a portion of time, Wales up to 15 men versus 12. And while they made enough of it, Thomas Williams getting over for his try, Roberts finding a brilliant amount of room further out towards the wing, cutting back inside, so hard to defend, a full pitch with only 12 men, making huge meters up, and it's just an easy offload to Thomas Williams to run that one over. So Wales do go over for 7 points during this period of time, but you have to say, really not making the most of that 12-man advantage. They still were up the 12-15 men for a little bit of time after that try was scored, but yet Wales kicking away possession, completely unnecessary. You've got the 3-men advantage. You've got to hold on to the ball and go through the hands and find the room. Handling issues for them again, letting them down. Issues at the breakdown, you've got a 3-man overlap, and yet England are getting over and getting those jackal penalties, which brought them straight back into the game, allowing them to survive more of that time with the yellow cards, and eventually allowing them to get a penalty in the Wales 22 while they still down those few men, kicking to corner, getting a huge driving maul, and Itoje going over. England scoring a try with 12 men on the field versus 15 should be a really, really big boost confidence for them, considering that the game felt like it was really slipping away from them. Wales's defence of the maul today was absolutely shocking. England absolutely trounced them basically in every set piece. The line out looked really poor. The mauling was just devastating. The power going through from England, every single driving maul just leading to a penalty. And then some really good decision making in this one by the England players. They're a little bit more experienced. George Ford on. They know they're still down Owen Farrell at this point. They've lost their captain. They've lost probably their main kick taker on the field. They're down that man. Scoreboard still against them. George Ford stepping up, getting a penalty to take them to that 19 points to 17 lead, and they managed to seal out the game. And it wasn't like Wales had no opportunities. Going back towards the end, Wales still being able to get up the field, but again, those handling errors, poor passes getting to hand. Players really should be taking those passes and having a few loose balls, and absolutely costing Wales this game. A couple of the England players absolutely stepping up this one. Ben Earl, I thought, should be playing at number 8 as opposed to number 7. What a superb game from him in that number 7 jersey today. It was his first start. I can't believe that was his first start. I've seen him play quite a few games now for England. I can't believe that's his first start ever. Thought he had a phenomenal game. One of the big driving forces as to why England were able to take this one. And there has to be a huge amount of credit going to the rest of that England team, being able to galvanise well down those extra men and really having to push hard to get over the line. Overall, then, England will have some positive to take away in terms of individual players really stepping up. Their overall gameplay of kicking through the ball and their style of attack, I thought, worked a lot better. Discipline, though, is still going to be a crucial element for them. The handling issues they still had, still plaguing them. All of these issues have been brought over from last week. And so many cards against a team that isn't maybe a bit more in line with a B team. Wales would absolutely punish you a lot more. You can't be doing that against a France or an Ireland, who they're going to be playing next week. So there'll still be a lot of improvements for them going ahead towards the World Cup. Wales, I think, will have a lot more issues to deal with. That first half of them felt very similar to the first half we got to see last week, sitting back, really absorbing a lot of the attack, not really being able to put their own stamp down on the game. In the second half, it really felt like they needed England to be making those mistakes to make the most of those opportunities, getting a penalty try because that yellow card tackle by Freddie Stewart, getting the try from Thomas Williams because England are down 3 men. They're positives to take away, but you have to say, apart from those big opportunities opening up for them, it didn't really feel like Wales were going to be getting over that try line. The driving maul for them today was not going anywhere. The line out throwing calls not even going close to the jumpers, just being thrown long when they're trying to throw short. Jumpers not getting anywhere near. England were involved in that line out all day long, and that scrummaging, even with a couple of penalties going their way at the scrum. You have to say that England scrum looked dominant for the duration of the game. So a lot of big concerns potentially for Wales. Warren Gatland's got some tough choices in terms of his squad to announce for that World Cup, and Wales will be going up against South Africa next. England have sort of shown in this one that if you just go through brute force and power, Wales might struggle a little bit. And against a team like South Africa, it's kind of their bread and butter. So Wales will have a lot to improve by next week, but I think they'll be glad to have at least got over that scoreboard twice and will have kept England yet again down to only 1 try at home in Twickenham, with maybe not the starting Wales team. But there we have it. Congratulations to England for taking this one by 2 points. What a real nail biter towards the end. Superb game of rugby. I'm off to watch the France versus Scotland game, so make sure you are subscribed to keep up to date when that review comes out. I'll probably put that one out tomorrow because I imagine that game's going to end a little bit late for me tonight. I hope you've all enjoyed this one though, guys. Make sure you drop down your thoughts on this game down in the comment section. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye bye.